I grew up in North Vernon, Indiana. So the story behind it and racing, my dad was Pat O'Connor's best man when he got married. So he had already bought a go-kart for me to run, and then Pat got killed the same year, so that was pretty much the end of racing in our family. So I went on, I was always kind of a gearhead, and I'm more of a drag racer. And then got to hanging around Pete Abel and Rodney Reynolds in the early 90s. Raced with them a little bit and helped them. And then Rodney and I became partners in 2001. And that's when we formed Rocksteady, named after my brother Dirk. So, and that's pretty much, so that's been a history of, started out with the original Kevin Thomas, ran him for 2.5 years, and then Mark Jessup came in and ran the rest of 2003. He had an offer to go run the trucker's car and run a full USAC deal, which we were not set up to do in any way at the time. And so we ran Eric Shively, and I'm gonna have to stop and think a little bit. Even after Shively, Kevin Briscoe even ran the car one night. Pete Abel ran the car one night. And then I think that was probably through 2004. And at the end of that year, kind of to save a friendship, Rodney and I decided we'd go separate ways. And I ended up with half the car parts and everything. And so I set out one year, and then Tim and I ran into each other at the trade show in Indianapolis, and we decided we'd give it a shot. And so he ran the car 2006 to 2010, and we hired Hunter Schoenberg, and along with Hunter we got BK. It was a package deal. Tony Epperson brought them to the house and dumped them out like a couple of orphans, and so we raced for 3 years with Hunter. He went on his own. We ran Darren Clayton the rest of 2014, and then in 2015 is when we got hooked up with Kyle, and so we ran Kyle all the way till 18. He went on his own for a year, then came back and ran 19 up until and through 23, and then everybody knows he had the opportunity of a lifetime to run that team and drive. And so he's the one that recommended Kevin, and it's worked out pretty damn good. So that's from start to finish right there, the racing part of it. So Rocksteady, we were trying to come up with a name. Reynolds was always really good at that. And my brother's nickname was Rocksteady. He got that tagged on him playing softball, I think. And so Rodney said, I think we just need to call it Rocksteady. The 3R was a number that he always had liked, so that's where the 3R came from. So that's pretty much where Rocksteady came from. I guess probably in the 80s, probably the World of Outlaws, I guess. We'd go to Bloomington and watch them and follow them. Always thought they were great, you know, with all the horsepower and the weight ratio. And like I said, I'd always been a gearhead, had an interest in racing. And then when I met Pete and Rodney and got to hanging around with them, and I pretty well got bit with the bug. And like everybody knows, if you're an alcoholic or a gambler, you can go get a fix for it, but there's not much of a fix for a racer. So you'll have guys like this that travel all the way from Pennsylvania to take your picture. Anytime you win a USAC show, the dominance we had at the SmackDown, the year we won it, probably is number one. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, hell, they're all big moments. And but we ran a long time, never won a USAC show, but I was trying to think when, I think Kyle won the first USAC show for us, probably at, I think Hobstadt. I can't even remember for sure, but it's been a good run. It's been a real good run. I'm an electrical contractor. We do 90% of our work is wastewater treatment plant work. We're a pretty small company, about a dozen employees. We're actually doing a plant job we're about to finish up right over here at Lawrenceburg plant. But yeah, I went in apprenticeship when I was 18 years old, so that's all I've ever done. Started the business in '89, so yeah, it's pretty much all I've ever done is electrical work. Just to be able to keep doing this is probably the big thing on the list, is to be able to keep my health and be able to keep up with these guys. Yeah, I mean, that's all a guy can ask for. You get old enough that you got the finances, you want to make sure you got the health to be able to enjoy your finances. It's just being a bonehead, not wanting to quit, and just having good people around you. I think they keep you going. As long as they show up, I'll keep doing it.